Hello and welcome. Thanks for tuning in. It's Killer Beat. Thanks for being here. Guess what? We have a face cam. You probably figured that out already. Yeah, everybody was demanding to see my beautiful face. So I got a camera. No, that's not true at all. But anyway, we got a camera. Let's roll with it. Let me know what you think about it. Before you tune out due to my ugliness, I want you to stay because we have a nice 2v2 here. A couple of CZ guys, Skull and Fallow Your Mind, taking on TaToH and Nicov. Going to be an uphill battle for the CZ guys, especially Nicov here, coming in at nearly 2200 team game rating, and he's really playing every bit of 2200. Absolute beast in the sheets, Mr. Nicov. The map is rivers. Don't be afraid. It's not going to be like the 100% water war map. I've seen a little bit of this game, but not the whole thing. I think you'll be satisfied if you like a little water and a little land. Rivers is a pretty simple map. There's a couple of passing points between where the players sort of start off. Yeah, I guess you can think of these as islands, right? They're surrounded by rivers. So the blue and purple player here are teammates. They can pass between one another if they want to start trade later in the game, or if they just want to send units to each other. TaToH here in the red is going to have an interesting position because his piece of the map connects to both the purple and the blue player. So he could get rated 2v1, but Nicov and everybody else has just the one entry point onto their opponent's map. And what that usually means is that you come forward and scout like Nicov is. You find your resources early, and you basically guard this central point. Make sure your opponent doesn't try to sneak a vill. And if you can stop your opponent from even getting their scout across the land bridge, if you can wall this off, you have a really nice advantage. Nikov's scout's going forward. If he can come forward here and wall this, he'll stop the blue player Fallow from being able to really see what he's up to on his side of the map. Tactically, that's a huge advantage. Anyway, enough of me gabbing on and on. It's going to be Japanese v Franks. It will actually be Japanese v Franks on the right side of the map and Franks v Japanese on the left. So it should be an interesting game. We should see some interesting unit matchups. I wouldn't expect players to go too deep into knights because once you wall this central area, it's pretty much GG knight rating. You can always take a transport ship and drop those units off on the other side. Yeah, so maybe it's still a viable option. But I'm not sure. Castle's really important in a map like this. Water is pretty important. TaToH's going to get the short end of the stick on water. TaToH here playing in the red is Franks. He's got some fishing in his river, but really you can see the bottom corner and the left and right corner. Those are really like the best fishing waters on the map. Purple player is going to have really good fishing. Blue player is going to have access to good fishing, and so will Nicov. But TaToH, he just has river fishing, which is just not nearly as good. So there you have it. That's how this one is shaping up. Nicov v Fallow on the right. You got to think Nikov's got a bit of an advantage there. TaToH v Skull is an interesting matchup. Similar rated players. Both guys are really capable on land and on sea. Really interested to see how that side goes. Purple player for now will come forward and wall up his entry point to his opponent's island. Not too surprising. Dock out early for TaToH. Dock out early for Nicov. TaToH at the moment is luring in a boar. Oh boy. Skull here has a chance to steal his scout. Scout on 1 HP. TaToH luring in a boar at the moment. He had this weird map where the boar, where the wood line is stopping him from being able to grab his boars with villagers. Looks like he will. Oh God, he brought his scout awfully close back to that boar once again. TaToH put his, going to quickly palisade a piece there so that he can take his second boar. Already loomed up, having to loom up early. But yeah, that's a big disadvantage. Having your scout on 1 HP is really not preferable here because you do need to get, oh, he's going to lose the boar. Going to lose the boar's attention. You need to get your scout across to your opponent's island if you can and at least get an idea of what they're doing. In this case, the purple player has walled up, but TaToH's scout being on 1 HP, I think is a bit of a bummer. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Got to get your boars in early. I think that TaToH just said this map is stupid. Don't remember. I'm not very good at Spanish, but I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Anyway, for the moment, we will work our way through this one. You can see Nicov is forward scouting out his opponent's island. Very important. Huge early advantage. when you can scout your opponent's island out a bit. Purple player's still on his piece of land, and he's already palisaded up the center, leaving this Vil idle for a couple seconds, which is a bit of a bummer. TaToH's still figuring out what's going on his side of the map, and the blue player is not scouting forward either. So it's going to be Nicov with a pretty huge advantage in the scouting and in the score lead, mostly just because he's running around getting an idea of what his opponent's up to. Nikov's going to loom up early and go up pretty damn early here. 20 villagers is pretty early. He has a couple fishing ships, so he does have a pretty good food eco. He can continue to build fish as he moves through. But to go up this early is an interesting tactic. Usually, if my math is correct, I think my math is correct, usually you need a couple more Vils if you're going to go into galley production, but forget about what he might or might not do. 4 villagers here walking forward with those crooked, I guess they're just crooks, staffs. Moving forward, Follow Your Mind's going to find these villagers and probably not care, apparently. Yeah, he's going to go back and at least follow him and keep an eye on him. But 7 villagers from Nicov coming forward for now. Looks like it's just going to be a house for the moment to keep him from being housed. Nicov coming forward really aggressively. Like we said before, he's forward scouting his opponent's island early, and he must have seen something that looked awfully vulnerable. This main gold on the front is awfully weak. Secondary gold will be outside of the walls that the blue player has made already. More walls coming down quickly from the blue player, just trying to hold this side of the map. And we'll see how intense Nikov's push becomes. Those 3 villagers who dropped the house, they stayed back to grab stone. 5th villager, though, is on the way, and Nikov's going to have probably a sustained tower push. Multiple towers slowly creeping forward. If he can take over this main gold from his opponent, it would be incredibly annoying. Fallow's got more gold in the back, so at least he can rely on that. But Nicov, for now, is going to put pressure on this front gold. Okay, what else is going on? TaToH's going up to Feudal Age very late. I like this in a team game with the map like Rivers, where one person goes up early, puts pressure on the other person, fast castles. It's a really nice balanced attack. I think that they'll probably benefit from having a player in the castle age really early. TaToH probably able to fast castle. 25 Vils with 4 or 5 fishing ships should be plenty for him to get up. Nikov's rushing down these walls. He's got his first tower up. Blue player is going to secondary wall his area with some houses. But Nikov's next tower, if he drops it here, will take away this gold. Blue player bringing in more Vils and is looking to probably drop a tower. You got to be really careful. Blue player is going to drop a watchtower here. You got to be careful. If you're not on stone, obviously you only get to build 1 tower in the feudal age, right? Blue player here, Fallow, spending 125 stone, does not have enough for another tower. But importantly, his tower here is a really good position. He sees where Nikov's going. Nicov has still committed to building a second tower, but the blue player's tower is going to be up first. He's going to kill Nikov's scout, and he might get a Vil here. Villagers desperately trying to get this tower up, but it's on about 75%. And it's just not going to happen. Too much arrow fire coming in. Looks like Nicov will keep his Vils alive, but the blue player will very importantly keep his gold. On the other side of the map, we've got TaToH going market blacksmith. Does have some pretty good fishing going. Doing a little fish scouting, I would think. No, he's just taking fish. That crappy river is almost already fished out of big fish. Obviously, you want to leave the shore fish for last. On the back, Nicov does have a rather early galley. He actually built a dock on his opponent's piece of the map, and he's harassing the fish here of the blue player. Nikov's Vil is going to go in, but the blue player is going to chase her down. So for now, that villager will probably not make it much longer. Tower still hasn't gone up for Nicov. His tower push here has been a bit of a disappointing adventure so far, but we'll see. Castle Age on the way at the moment. Ooh. TaToH's got a transport ship. However, purple player here, Skull, already dropping arrows on it. TaToH's going to load that up with a couple of Vils, 3 Vils and a scout, and it's going to die? It's on 4 HP. That transport ship is going to... Wow, it's going to survive, and it's going to die immediately after dropping those villagers off. That was very lucky for TaToH. TaToH here's having awkward beginning to this game. He's got his 1 HP scout. He just landed his opponent, but his opponent knows about it. Lost his transport ship. It's just not going that well for him. But TaToH is a beast. Everybody has a bad day here, and he can still beat you on a bad day. Nonetheless, those 3 Vils are going to be fighting a wolf. They're going to be fighting a full HP scout from the feudal age and a spearman. So I don't know. They can take this fight if TaToH's careful, but he's going to lose a few villagers here by the looks of it. Wolf in play. We'll see. Ooh, we'll see the scout go down. See 1 Vil go down. Turn around and poke this villager. Yeah, 2 villagers dead there. Purple player will bring his own Vil into the mix. And it's already looking like GG to TaToH's forward. Yeah, Archer on the way as well for Skull. Okay, well, a really awkward and weird start for TaToH, but at least he'll be in the castle age here in a moment. Nicov on the other side is still trying to finish building his tower. He's got 5 Vils here on the front who have been trying to chip away at his opponent's tower, but it's really just not going that great. Blue player's gone over his stone, so he will be able to repair his tower and build more if he has to. Nikov's galleys are, yeah, they're still kind of terrorizing the water. Blue fish has been moved up to the top corner. Blue player is booming out a bit of a water army. Couple galleys starting to build up. So Nicov and the blue player here, Fallow, having a pretty good toe-to-toe fight, I would say. I have to feel like the purple player's in a really good position. He's searching around right now for the scout of his opponent. That 3rd villager, no, that's a spearman. I'm pretty sure that the villagers are all dead here, though. Not seeing any more red on the map. So TaToH losing 3 Vils early, losing a transport ship. He's in the castle age, as you might usually try to do. When you hit the castle age, you build a couple fire ships because they are awfully beefy against galleys, and you try to take back over the water. TaToH going pretty, not that intensely onto stone, but one would think he's going to want a castle sometime soon. 470 stone in the bank, couple TCs up now for the red player. Looking to be in good shape. That being said, it is not going to be Skull resting on his laurels. Skull's going to come forward here with a couple of archers and try to harass his opponent. TaToH never walled off this area. It felt like I thought he would. Nicov walled off his piece, but TaToH for now is going to be somewhat vulnerable to raiding. Blue player can also cross pretty easily and try to hit TaToH if he wants. However, he's got his hands pretty damn full with Nicov at the moment. Interesting start to this game. Yeah, very interesting start. Gotta like the position that Skull is in. He's a little bit ahead of his opponent. At least it feels like he's ahead of his opponent. Although TaToH's got, he's got castle age, but he's got 32 villagers at the moment. And presumably he's going to lose some more because we're seeing more and more archers streaming in his direction. Ooh, there we go. Castle coming down for Mr. TaToH. He's going to send, looks like 5 Vils around to build that nice little hill there. It will help protect his gold and kind of block off this entry point. So I like it. The problem, though, is TaToH does not have a military. Is the purple player Skull going to see this? Skull, are you paying attention? Skull, can you hear me, Skull? Yeah, Skull's going to see that castle. He's going to see that castle, and this is going to be really awkward for him. There's just 1 archer here to put pressure on, but I know there's more archers to the north. 4 more archers if he really hurries. He might not be here in time. We'll see. For the moment, distracting a few Vils. Castle is going to eventually go up here. Purple player's trying to get his units closer? Question mark? He's just kind of taking his time. Archers are awfully slow. 2nd archer coming from the south. This is going good now. He can keep at least 2 villagers from building at all times. Castle, though, on about 70%. 1 Vil will go down. But yeah, here come more archers. Oh, sweet Jesus. Purple player's going to have a half dozen archers here. Castle from TaToH, well, let's see from his point of view, is on 75% exactly, but he's lost a Vil, and he's going to lose another at some point here. Let's see, villagers being distracted. Yep, 2 more villagers going down. That's 3 total now. It's going to be 5 Vils at least that TaToH will lose trying to put this castle up. It's on 86%. Purple player is going to get out of dodge and let it go up in order to save some of his army. I think he could have killed another Vil or 2. Tough sledding here for TaToH, just just keeps taking risks, like trying to land his opponent. Ooh, he's landed him again. The previous landing was a big risk, and he lost all 3 vills. He lost the transport ship, and I think he eventually lost his scout. He lost another 5 or 6 vills here on this castle. He's having a really rough game early on here. TaToH will dock the backwaters. We talked about this area being really good for fishing. So TaToH's going to start doing some fishing. Probably more importantly, though, he can raid the purple fishing here on the back of the map. Skull has still 6 fishing ships. Fallow has 9. Yeah, that's a pretty ridiculous piece of eco that you got to harass. Nonetheless, TaToH's been on a couple TCs for a while. Purple Archer raiding is going to start coming in here slowly, idling a couple vills. Ooh, he's going to run under. No, he's not going to run through. For now, purple player flirting, keeping TaToH busy, but TaToH's in a decent spot because of his extra TCs. He's actually got more villagers than his opponent. A couple of mangoes out for the green player, putting some pressure on the front here. Blue player really having to put a lot of towers up. Gonna lose a vill there on the front. Nikov's pushing pretty hard with these mangoes, just trying to get in and distract this gold. Back at home, 44 villagers for the green player, but 1 TC so far in the Castle Age. Follow Your Mind just hits Castle. What's going on water? Fallow's got quite a few ships out. Built quite a few galleys, has the +1 damage, is doing a pretty good job at keeping Nicov busy on water, but it's hard to really squeeze your opponent too hard with just water control on rivers, because you can't reach that much of the resource from the water, you know, like Nikov's main area of his economy. Totally safe from galleys at the moment. So he's not going to be too worried about the blue player owning the water for now. TaToH and Skull still fighting it out on the top of the map. Crossbowman is in for the purple player. He'll run in and snipe another vill. TaToH's pulling out ahead, though. 48 villagers total. We will probably see that advantage continue to grow. 5 crossbows here is annoying, but I think TaToH's in a decent position with the extra TC. Purple player is on 2 TCs as well, so he should be able to keep up with him. We shall see how this goes. In the meantime, Fireship's doing a little bit of raiding on the water, at least I would think. A little bit of skirmishing. Wouldn't say that they've killed too much of the fishing eco, or have they? Yeah, Skull's still got his 6 fishing ships somewhere. Yeah, looks like they're working waters to the south for the moment. Okay, Nicov continuing to push with mangoes here on the front. Looks like his tower is in really rough shape, but he's trying to get in here and be annoying. Gonna grab another vill there. Stonewall's coming in for Fallow. Fallow at the moment really in danger of losing this gold. Mangonel's just roaming in and putting pressure on. Blue player will drop a castle. Can't say that I like that castle position very much, but it is what it is. Sometimes you do have to put a castle up even in a bad, and even in a not great location. Just trying to hold on to the front of his map. Blue player is still got plenty of gold in the back area here, but it's just not going to last forever. It's not going to last forever. Nicov grabbing redemption. He's saying Trebs and Monks, I believe. At the moment, we are seeing quite a few Mangonels. Mangonels and Monks for the moment, but soon to be Trebs. Nicov on 1 TC. Not too far from being able to click up here. Looks like a 1 TC, kind of a fast-ish imp build, taking a lot of stone. It's not going to be the fastest Imperial Age you've ever seen, but I think he'll be the first one up. Okay, TaToH landed again on his opponent's island. He's got 5 villagers there just building up an eco. He's got a 6th vill here to the south, building a few more docks. For the moment, though, Skull is keeping the navy of TaToH quite busy. TaToH's navy there hasn't really established itself, still fighting with the purple player. Purple's still got some crossbows roaming around. Skull has not crossed onto Nikov's island, and I just have no clue why. Well, actually, I have a hypothesis. He hasn't found the land bridge. He doesn't know it's there, but I mean, he has to assume that this is going to have there's going to be a crossing point, right? I mean, if he walks into Nikov's eco here, he can dice this entire economy up with like a half-dozen crossbows. There's just nothing here to protect Nicov. And all of his units are monks and mangonels and spearmen who just can't get back home to defend. Anyway, I'm playing Monday morning quarterback here, but you know what I'm trying to say here. these crossbows are not getting much done. There's a lot of defensive positioning here from TaToH, and unfortunately Skull's going to throw him away. Ah, man. I don't want to overstate the importance of that, but cross the land bridge, man. At least check it out. Oh, God, look at all these juicy villagers. These villagers, these are extra juicy vills. Oh, my God. Whew. Anyway, double quarter pounder with cheese villagers just waiting to be gobbled up. Siege Workshop's coming down for both the purple and red players. Stables coming in the back now for TaToH. Frank's player finally thinking about doing some night raiding. For now, the purple player controls this area with a couple TCs on the front, but I'd have to think that Skull's going to get onto stone soon. Yeah, his stone is kind of outside of his... No, he's got a stone pile here. I would hope that he gets over onto stone, because I think he's going to want a castle to protect this area. For now, it's going to be stables. It's going to be potentially... Yeah, it's going to be some mangonels. Interesting. Well, he's not going to be happy when he sees knights roaming in after he's invested in mangonels, but hey, hopefully it works for him. Castle coming down for Nicov so he can build those trebs that he wants to build when he hits Imperial Age. Look at the beautiful timing of Nicov. He's going to hit Imperial pretty much right exactly when this castle goes up. Let's see. 3, 2. Okay, not quite exactly. I overpraised him. Anyway, War Galley on the water for Fallow. Fallow's got this navy that's just been chilling up here for way too long. Way too long. Oh, protecting a landing, I suppose. Blue player will land and drop a TC. What's going on back at home for blue? 1 TC so far. Looks like a second TC coming up at home and a third TC coming up on Nikov's part of the map. Again, I mean, you know, I can see the whole map. You can see the whole map. You can't give these guys too much shit for not seeing this, but build a couple stables and some knights, man. There's nothing here. There's nothing in defense. You could dice this entire economy to shreds. Unfortunately, the blue player will prioritize his own eco. And it's not going to go well for him, because Nikov's in the Imperial Age. He's going to pump out 2, 3, 4 trebs, however many he wants to, I guess. And he's going to knock this entire front area down before the blue player even gets close to the Imperial Age. Anyway, the other side, let's see if Skull can take advantage of TaToH. Still a little upset about those couple of crossbows from Skull, but hey, he's still doing way better than I would have done. TaToH would have me on the mat and crying at this point in the match. Let's see, crossbowmen are in, +2 damage on those. Imperial Age coming for Skull. Scale Barding coming. He will be up before TaToH. I don't think he's going to have castles. He's not going to have a castle because he's not on stone here at all. But the purple player can have some beefy Imperial Age units, and he can maybe take advantage of TaToH's forward. Question is, how many knights are in these stables? Looks like 6, 8 knights so far, more on the way. A couple mangonels as well. Oof, this is going to be really tricky. Skull's got to be really careful. TaToH pops out. He grabs a mangonel, dodges the main shot. He's going to get almost 2 mangonels for the price of 1. But in the end, the purple knights will run forward. So nice job from Skull there not to completely lose both of his mangoes. Couple of monks from the purple player, anticipating some knights, I suppose. Both Japanese players going pretty deep into monks. Nicov more so than his opponent. But the story of the game right now is the Treb War, or the lack thereof. Nicov just trebbing down this castle. Just trebbing it down. Keeping about 10 villagers busy from his opponent, but he's still going to knock that castle down here eventually. Monks on the front starting to mass up, and I don't think the knights are going to do much. Still really bothered by Fallow just chilling with this navy. I mean, try to do something. Maybe he's a little worried. He can't sail past this castle, I suppose. Worried a bit about the monks, I guess. But maybe the biggest thing right now, I wish we could see some stables. Blue player, if he could just drop like 3 stables here, he should be able to raid the living piss out of Mr. Nicov. Where are these vills going? Please don't go drop another TC. Please don't. Okay, dropping a mining camp still. I want to see some military buildings. Maybe I should just get good at the game, and then I won't have to like second guess everybody like a loser. Anyway, double castle drops coming on the front for TaToH. He's starting to creep in. Purple Eco is going to be in trouble. This gold pile is not going to be safe for long. Still plenty of gold here in the back, but oh, hole in the wall. Knights running through. Just +2 defense and bloodlines. They're not like the beefiest version, right? TaToH's not Imperial yet, so they're not Cavalier or anything. But this is plenty of arrow defense to run in here and kill a lot of vills. Skull on 85 vills, but more importantly, 34 idols right now. His economy is basically shutting down. More and more villagers dropping left and right. Not going well at all for Skull. In the meantime, the blue player is still landed. He's still happy on Nikov's island, but Nicov is happier on the blue island here. 4 trebs, looks like maybe 10 monks. More monks coming as we speak. Nikov's built a TC on the blue island. And it's not going to last long. Man, once these trebs unpack, this entire part of the map can just go down immediately. Blue player transitioning into skirms. I guess he doesn't want to throw expensive knights at these monks. That's not such a bad choice, but it's just not going to get the job done. Elite skirms in this position, you would need so many of them. It's just not going to... Just no haps, my friend, unfortunately. Anyway, it looks like this game is starting to get wrapped up. TaToH is dropping another castle. Absolute castle drop. Manifesto? No, that's not the right word. Anyway, absolute castle drop clinic coming here from TaToH. Starting to add in the rams, starting to knock down buildings. This is pretty much GG. Skull will call GG. Fallow's going to build a couple stables here, but it's 40 minutes deep into the game. I really wish he had done that sooner. I really just wonder if a couple crossbows from Skull crossed this island toward Nicov, and if a couple knights ran into Nikov's eco, I wonder if they could have had a better result. Not the cleanest game from Mr. TaToH, but you know what? TaToH is a pro, man. He doesn't have to play perfect to still beat the living hell out of you. And in this game, he really did roll up his opponent here, Skull. Skull played a nice game early with those crossbows, but in the end, the knight rating is too much for him. And it's going to be GG. Interesting tower push from Nicov on Rivers. I can't say I've seen that so many times. Kind of like it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this game. Pretty interesting game if you ask me. Hopefully you enjoyed the face cam. I'm working on it. I'm sure like half of my face was probably cut off the entire video. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do, people? What are you going to do? This is all free, right? So you get shitty face cams. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is Killer B. Catch you next time. Much love.